a milestone, but to celebrate a vision that transformed India's education landscape with its forward-looking and holistic approach. NEP 2020 laid the foundation for accessible, inclusive and quality education, promoting values of creativity, critical thinking and lifelong learning. Over the past 5 years, we have seen real changes from foundational literacy to multidisciplinary learning, from local language inclusion to global readiness, and from rote learning to experiential education. Let us take this opportunity to reflect on how far we have come and recommit ourselves to shaping an education system that empowers every learner to reach full potential. Let's celebrate the spirit of change, progress, and the bright future that NEP 2020 promises for every learner in India. Bringing in Harleen Kaur to carry this ahead.
Education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one. A very warm afternoon to each one of you present here. On behalf of City University, I would like to cordially welcome our respected Chairman Sir in absentia, Vice Chairman Sir in absentia, Pro-Chancellor Sir in absentia, Vice Chancellor Sir in absentia, Pro-Chancellor Ma'am in absentia. I wholeheartedly welcome Registrar Sir, Controller of Examination, HOS, and all my respected faculty members. I would request a worthy Registrar Sir, Mr. Sanjay Khanduri, to light some points on NEP 2020.
49 parameters of NEP, and I am very happy to announce that we have completed almost 80% of the parameters. So out of 49, we have completed 42 parameters. And in the last year itself, there was one initiative, that is NEP Sarthi. And with the kind permission of Honorable Chairman Sir, Vice Chairman Sir and VC Sir, Dr. Pradeep Yadav has been awarded as Nodal Officer of NEP Sarthi. और इनके ही बदौलत हमारे 3 फैकल्टी कोऑर्डिनेटर्स हैं, डॉक्टर आशिमा ठाकुर, मिस तन्वी शर्मा एंड मिस नवनीत कौर, ये हमारी फैकल्टी कोऑर्डिनेटर्स हैं. And 6 students have been appointed as NEP Sarthi, and their name is published in the UGC website. And out of 1 student, he is there, he has become a teacher now, Mr. Akshay. So it's all due to efforts of these persons that today we are celebrating NEP 2020. And the main thanks goes to Mr. Pradeep Kumar Yadav, who has taken initiative, and day in and day out, he is working on the implementation of all the NEP programs. At the same time, I would like to thank all the faculty members, HOS, Dean Academics and Pro-VC for their continuous involvement and motivation, so that we can work hard for the implementation of NEP 2020. So with this, I thank you very much, and over to you, ma'am.
Let's start the seminar. In schedule with NEP, we have the following events. The first one is seminar, which is to be presented by Miss Ashima ma'am. The second one is quiz competition, which is to be presented by Navneet ma'am. And the last one is bingo game, which is to be presented by Tanvi ma'am. So over to Miss Shivani Thakur.
Seminar schedule. After the seminar session, a quiz will be conducted based on the seminar content. So this is your chance to showcase what you have learned and stand out. From the quiz, the top 30 candidates will be selected based on their scores. And here's the fun part, that these 30 selected candidates will get the opportunity to play a special bingo game filled with learning and prizes. So stay attentive and give your best.
What we are going to see today is NEP, its reflection, some breakthroughs and some barriers. How many of us have read the NEP document? Okay, so I can see a very few hands here. And how many of us knows a few points here and there about the NEP? Like Sir has just told us about a few of the parameters that we have already gone through, and we have, okay. So because this document is humongous, there are enormous studies for this, and there is a lot of information and a lot of research. So because of the time constraint, we are just going to touch base on the few points which are going to be barriers of NEP. So this policy marks a significant turning point in the education journey of India. And with the focus on quality, equity, innovation and holistic learning for all, aged 3 to 18 is the main focus because they want to have some foundations that are strong for the higher education as well. But all in all, we'll be having some barriers that people have faced in the implementation phase. As all of us know that this is the 5-year completion anniversary of NEP introduction. So in these 5 years, how this NEP has been implemented and what are few of the problems or barriers that people have faced in its implementation are going to be discussed here. Just to begin with, it provides universal access to the quality education, and it is aiming to achieve 100% gross enrollment ratio in school education by 2030 and 50% GER, that is gross enrollment ratio, in higher education by 2035. That means if we go by the numbers, we are still way, we have still a lot of things to cover up to even reach to 50% of enrollment in the higher education system. So we should feel ourselves blessed that we have crossed that level and we are in an institute that is providing higher education to so many people, because there are a lot of people who are still not able to have that access to the higher education. So through inbuilding the critical thinking and problem solving and a lot many things by experiential learning methods and problem solving techniques that will be introduced through the NEP. Moving forward, if we talk about the components that are included in NEP, it was initiated and it is the first policy to be introduced according to the 21st century of our education, because we talk about centuries. So 2020 has introduced the first education policy of 21st century. Though this has replaced the 1986 policy, so till 2019 we were only following 1986 policies, which was like a very backward way of learning and teaching people. So this is a replacement for 1986 policy. This is not a new education policy. This is National Education Policy 2020. So this focuses on holistic and multidisciplinary education for 21st century, because we cannot restrict our minds to only one area. We need to have some multidisciplinary approaches to learn as much as we can. Universal access and equity in quality education. See, we cannot restrict any access and learning has no bounds. So this is one of the focus, that universal access should be given. That is why we have so many introductions of certifications throughout and MOOC courses, NEPTEL, SWAYAM. There are so many portals that are giving access to the education throughout and people can access that. Rooted in Indian ethos with a global vision. We as a country, we were very much developed in the earlier Vedic ages also in terms of education. We had so many universities, Nalanda University and so on. But because of some influences of the West, we could not sustain that educational policy. So now with this introduction or this policy, we are going back and we are rooting ourselves to the Indian ethos and values with the global vision. That means हम पीछे का भी सब चीज़ें याद कर रहे हैं और आगे का भी हमारे पास बहुत कुछ चीज़ें हमारे जहन में है, हमारी विजन में है, समझने के लिए कि हम आगे आने वाले बच्चों को किस तरीके से तैयार करेंगे with our values and ethos intact. Then is the benefits of this standardized or universal as per our country policy. It has enhanced academic flexibility and students' choice. We talk about accreditations, we talk about banks, we talk about credit systems. So this is going to give students a flexibility of earning the credits, sustaining those credits and carrying forward those credits for their learning. Academic bank of credits, as I just told you, it accumulates and transfers the credit. So ऐसा नहीं है कि एक डिग्री एक ही जगह रहेगी और वहीं से सब चीज़ें पढ़नी है. You can accumulate your credits as per the NEP and then you can get it transferred according to the requirement and the institute that you want to transfer to. Then is National Research Foundation to promote a strong research culture. Because this is a very big miss from our end also as educationists, that we cannot focus on the research. We are not able to see what is good and what can be done better because there is some kind of loophole in this area. So NEP is also focusing on how National Research Foundation can help us in having stronger research, which is going to give a base for everybody to understand the futuristic vision of NEP. Moving forward, if we see barriers faced during implementation, this is according to this study. There were a lot of studies for this particular thing. So this is a study from 2024 which has noted down some of very basic yet common issues that people have faced in as the barriers. Inadequate digital infrastructure and accessibility. Everybody is not equipped enough to access these digital forums and learn through these forums. So this is one of the biggest barriers. हम लोग ऑनलाइन कुछ भी शुरू कर देंगे, बट अगर ऑनलाइन के उपकरण ही लोगों के पास नहीं होंगे तो सर्टिफिकेशन का कोई मायना नहीं रह जाता है. So this is one of the biggest barrier that people have faced. Insufficient funding and resource constraints. We are a huge country by population. So giving equal say funding to all the people at all the level is not very easy. So this again becomes a constraint that how fundings can restrict the learning of students. Resistance to change among faculties. Obviously there are people of different age groups, different mindsets, different areas and different say learning abilities also. So because teacher plays a very important role in this aspect because they are mentoring the students, they are giving people platforms to learn. So if there is some type of resistance in that area, this also becomes a very big barrier for implementation of the policy. Lack of awareness. Abhi hi humne dekha that not even 10% of the total population has gone through the whole document of NEP, though we are following that NEP, because we are bound to follow that NEP. So this becomes a very big challenge for people because they are not aware कि NEP है, क्यों है, किस लिए है, क्या कर रही है, क्यों कर रही है. So till the time we are not aware about it, we will not be able to implement it properly. Difficulties in achieving inclusivity. Inclusivity including people from different areas, different races, different abilities and different any form of differences have to be included in the education system. We cannot only restrict ourselves to a particular type of stereotypical students and not plan every curriculum according to those people. So this is also again a barrier. Shortage of trained faculties for multidisciplinary teacher. We are trained in our subjects, I can say that. We have experience in that, we have been doing certifications in that, we are polishing our subjects. But if I am asked to teach somebody from a BCA department, computer application, some language, I will not be able to do that. Because my area is very restricted towards management and I can teach only those subjects. So again, this becomes a very big challenge because you have to have trained people who are able to carry forward that multidisciplinary teaching. Enormity and diversity. Every person cannot understand each and everything in the same way. So this diversity creates a problem. If we go through this document, everyone will perceive it differently. So when we talk about this small population, if we have so many differences here, just imagine how it is overall, throughout the country. There are so many people who are bound to understand this but are not able to understand this. So that diversity also becomes a barrier here. Fear of privatization. NEP started with a vision and is also focusing on improving the government structure of education. In today's scenario also there are not pre-primary classes in government, they start directly from the first standards. So they were planning and they are still planning to have pre-primary classes also with the age groups and their curriculum so that there is no privatization from the beginning of a student. People have those opportunities to go to government schools and have that type of upbringing from very beginning. Because otherwise what happens? सरकारी स्कूल में तो है ही नहीं है, प्राइवेट से शुरू कर लो, प्राइवेट जैसा मर्जी हो बट कम से कम पढ़ाई तो दे रहा है, बच्चा जा तो रहा है. तो वो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन और ट्रांजिशन के लिए दिस बिकम्स अ फियर ऑफ प्राइवेटाइजेशन फॉर NEP हियर एज वेल. सो दीज आर सम बैरियर्स विच आर कॉमन इन मेनी ऑफ द researches or in many of the studies here. Now breakthroughs, if I talk about, there have been many researches on NEP since beginning and according to the research there are some big breakthroughs. Multiple entry and exit system. All of us know, we know this. 1 साल में सर्टिफिकेट, 2 साल में डिप्लोमा, 3 साल में डिग्री, 4 साल में ऑनर्स. we have understood that, right? So that is multiple exits and entries, so that people, if they want to leave after say 2 years, their 2 years are not wasted. So this is an introduction, and this is a breakthrough in the education system, that you don't have to stay at one place and continue your education even if there are some other barriers to you. Academic bank credit, as we've discussed, you collect, you accumulate your credits, and you can utilize it as wherever you go and wherever you can transfer. Establishment of NRF, we've discussed, National Digital Education Architecture, how digitalization can help, making it accessible to people, creating labs that are accessible by people who are not able to do that on their own, having some infrastructure that is going to help less privileged people so that they can access all the information which is like globally available. Open and online courses, again, in this semester also we've introduced MOOC classes to MOOC certificates for students. So that MOOC has helped us in giving this online platform to the students and understanding this more clearly through somebody else's vision as well. Introduction of multidisciplinary education. A person who wants to learn physics can also learn liberal arts. A person who is into commerce can also learn C++ and other languages. So this is also an introduction that with your choices you can learn a mix and match of subjects and have a good understanding of multidisciplines. Nipun Bharat Mission, phasing out of MPhil and revision of PhD criteria, all of us know that. Restructured master's program, 1 year, 2 year, depending on what is the graduation level, 4 year or 3 year. Higher Education Commission of India, this is a draft, UGC, AICTE, everything is supposed to be dissolved, and this is going to be the new board that will regulate things. National Mission of Mentoring proposed for teachers to learn and develop themselves, and promotion of Indian languages. Why to only focus on English, Hindi or a specific language, and why not regional languages to make it easier for students to understand and learn? Why? Because everybody is not so comfortable in all these languages. So it is one of the proposed option here that if you give regional language for learning, it is going to be easier for students to connect to that subject. And once a student is connected, you can slowly and steadily move to a more universal language. But for introduction and for creating that interest, regional languages are considered best for the learning. Breakthroughs, again, we've gone through this. There is transformation in curriculum. There are integrations of bhakti, karma, ashtanga yoga across the stages, because we have forgotten our mental health. And this is pressurizing little kids also. So this is a curriculum that is being changed since the very beginning, like 3 to 18 years there is a transformation in this particular thing, so that people are also focusing on how they are developing their mental levels, and mental health is being curated too. Then is soft skills, again, not just the technical skills or hard skills, soft skills are again very important, because we have to feel the belongingness to a group, and if we want to feel that belongingness, we need to have some kind of interpersonal or soft skills so that we are part of that group even if we are not exactly like them, right? So these are few things that are again breakthroughs, and how it is transforming, what is the role of the teacher that is going to be, what is going to be the civic awareness. Students are starting young. In new curriculum, people are going to be given social sensitivity also, given them some type of work that is going to connect them to the society. Then are the recommendations, very simple yet doable. It will take time because of the level it has to be taken to. Bridge the digital divide, or see how we can make digital area accessible to people who are not able to focus in that area. Because see, again, we are privileged enough if we are able to afford all the digital platforms. Our students are also privileged enough, but there is a part of society, there is a part of state, country, whatever you may say, who are still not aware about the digital forums, who are still not able to access those things. So this is one of the biggest recommendation that can help in bridging this gap. Increase the funding. Obviously, I and you cannot do that. Increased funding has to be through bigger boards, bigger bodies, but still this is one of the recommendation that how we can do that. Maybe as a CSR policy also, CSR initiative also. being an educational institute, how we can help the other people who are not able to afford that to get through this and to learn all these things. Capacity building, not just students but teachers also. Skills, capacity, not just being perfect in the subject, but there are other aspects also that we have to understand and be part of that wholeheartedly. Strengthen the monitoring, very important, because when we have to implement this thing nationwide, the monitoring has to be very vigilant and the monitoring has to be very strong so that we know, or people know, that how it is being implemented, what are the loopholes, how that can be rectified, and early on identification of problems can be done. Foster collaborations in terms of multidisciplinary, in terms of say institute collaboration, in terms of industry collaboration, in terms of academia, industry, whatsoever can open new opportunity doors for people, we should do that, and that is going to be one of the recommendations again here. And enhance transparency. Because see, if you go through the NEP document, it has a lot of points that we can relate to as an institute, as a person working in an institute, and we can see that how transparency can help the institutes in gaining more and more accreditations, more and more, say, reliability in the system, in the society. Lastly, we talk about the solutions, that is addressing the capacity gaps, conducting regular training for teachers, because again teachers are the medium who are going to train the coming generations. Recruit the qualified staff to manage reforms, transformational reforms, technological reforms, digital reforms. All these reforms have to be addressed early on so that we are able to give this platform to the students as well. Solution 2 is bridging the digital divide. Again, we've talked about it. Promotion or promoting multilingual education. Not just restricting to one language, depending on the need of the area or depending on the need of the students. There can be introduction of different languages or bilingual courses so that people are able to understand it and create their interest in that particular subject. Then is promote inclusive and equitable education, not specific to only one type of student, but flexibility in learning modes, and provide bridge and foundation courses to less privileged people or people to understand the need of education. Enhancing infrastructure and funding, establish industry linkage and alumni networks. Obviously, alumni are always the part of institute, and how they are helping their institute grow also makes a good impression on the institute, because you have created those people. Not 100%, but at least you have been part of that journey, even if it is a step. Utilize government schemes like RUSA and PM Usha. See, government has a lot many schemes, but we are not aware about those schemes. So if there has to be some connectivity, we have to go through all the government sites and understand how government is helping us build a better future. And aligning with research and innovation goals. Again, very important aspect, that how we are having research here, and set up of research cells, faculty publications and patents. Because if we are not searching, doing work, researching on different aspects and different topics, it is difficult for us also to connect with the outer world. Because we should know where the world is going. And to know that, we have to read, we have to publish, we have to write, we have to research. So that is also one of the biggest aspects that can be covered, and as a faculty we should be doing this and helping the research community in bringing in better opportunities and better outputs of the research. So that is it from my end. This was just a very brief presentation on NEP and its barriers and how it can be recommended, the recommendations that can be used. Thank you so much. I hope we can just go back and read about this and know how we are part of this and how we are contributing to this initiative by government. Thank you so much. So, moving forward, as the host of this day had told you about the quiz. So I am just initiating the quiz. This is the QR code. If you can scan it from here, or the QR codes have been passed to you. This is about the basics of NEP. I hope you score well, because the best scoring people, 30 people, will go into the next round. That is the bingo of NEP. please scan the QR code. Just a minute. Navneet ma'am, can you please update the access here to all? 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. I hope everybody is able to do that. Is there any access problem still?
मैम बाकी को रोको पीछे सारे चेंज कर रहे हैं कुछ ना कुछ यहाँ पे शेयर एक लिंक सिर्फ लिंक भेजिए ना उनको
ये है ना configure message or response has been recorded. कुछ करना
First of all, I am Tanvi Sharma from the School of Design and Innovation in the Department of Multimedia Animation at City University. I am here to coordinate the NEP 2020 Bingo game with Mr. Akshay. So it's not just about bingo, it's related to NEP only, the National Educational Policies. So here how it works. First of all, let me explain the rules. Okay? We will ask a question related to NEP. You have only 20 seconds to figure out the right answer and just mark the question number there. Don't cut that. Okay? Top 5 participants finish the 3 rows, cross, downwards or diagonally. That's all. Just shout out bingo loud and clear. Among those 5 participants, we only have 2 winners, the first and second. Okay? Now, I would like to hand over the mic to Ms. Tanveer Kaur. Thank you so much.
And I am excited to have you on here for a fun and educational activity, a special game of NEP Bingo. Yes, you heard it right, bingo. But wait, it is not a normal bingo. It's about testing your knowledge of the National Education Policy in a lively and interactive way.
Please everyone, a little attention here please. So this bingo game is very simple. You have to either have like we say, standing line, sleeping line and slanting line. That's it. Diagonally, straight and a normal line. Whenever you complete that, either one of the 3, you have to shout out bingo. And Akshay will check it whether it is right or not. And whenever you are crossing any of the boxes here, please write down the number of statement that you are writing it with. Like if ma'am is, she's saying statement 1, so you're crossing that particular answer and just write 1 over there. Okay, so that we are able to see and comprehend which statement is along which answer here. You have to cut as many times you require to create a line, either this way, that way, or this way. That's it.
Shall we start, ma'am? So, our first question is, which approach encourages students to study subject across arts, science and commerce to get a well-rounded education? I repeat, which approach encourages students to study subject across arts, science and commerce to get a well-rounded education? And the second question is, what kind of training prepares students for specific tracks carpentry, plumbing, or digital marketing? I repeat, what kind of training prepares students for specific tracks like carpentry, plumbing, or digital marketing? And the third question is, what initiative aims to teach programming to students from an early age? I repeat, what initiative aims to teach programming to students from an early age? And the fourth question is, what system tracks a student's progress through accumulated learning units? I repeat, what system tracks a student's progress through accumulated learning units? What system tracks a student's progress through accumulated learning units? And the fifth question is, what type of learning emphasizes practical abilities over theoretical knowledge? I repeat, what type of learning emphasizes practical abilities over theoretical knowledge? And the sixth question is, which approach focuses on the learning outcomes students should achieve after a course? I repeat, which approach focuses on the learning outcomes students should achieve after a course? And the seventh question is, okay, so the seventh question is, what is the name of the model that combines online and face-to-face learning? I repeat, what is the name of the model that combines online and face-to-face learning? And the eighth question is, which approach encourages students to explore, question and investigate topics deeply? I repeat, which approach encourages students to explore, question and investigate topics deeply? Which approach encourages students to explore, question and investigate topics deeply? And the ninth question is, what promotes the use of mother tongues or regional languages in early education? I repeat, what promotes the use of mother tongues or regional languages in early education? I repeat the question, what promotes the use of mother tongues or regional languages in early education?
Okay, so we have one winner who's one.
Students to complete hands-on tasks to demonstrate understanding. I repeat, which learning method requires students to complete hands-on tasks to demonstrate understanding? What concept promotes continuous learning throughout one's life? I repeat, what concept promotes continuous learning throughout one's life? I repeat, what concept promotes continuous learning throughout one's life? 19.
Goes back and they will complete all the questions, and in the end we will see what is right, what is wrong. Because this continuous checking is like we are not reaching to any point here, right? So please take your papers back. There are only 4 questions left, and hopefully we will get somebody here. Till now we just have one qualifier, that is Dr. Devinder Kaur.
क्वेश्चन नंबर 20 20 से शुरू करो मैं वहाँ
So, we are starting from the question number 20. We are repeating the 20th question. We are repeating that question, ma'am. So, what ensures teachers have the freedom to design their curriculum and teaching methods? I repeat, what ensures teachers to have the freedom to design their curriculum and teaching methods? 20th. And the 21st question is, what practice encourages learning in and of multiple languages? I repeat, what practice encourages learning in and of multiple languages? And the 22nd question is, which technology is being used to personalize learning experience and automate assessments? I repeat, which technology is being used to personalize learning experiences and automate assessments? 22nd. And the 23rd question is, what refers to integrating ancient Indian philosophy, science and culture into modern education? I repeat, what refers to integrating ancient Indian philosophy, science and culture into modern education?
Akshay sir, 2 minutes.
And 24th question is, what is the national system that digitally stores student-earned credits? I repeat, what is the national system that digitally stores student-earned credits? 24th. And the question number 25 is, what cognitive skills involve analyzing and evaluating information to form reasoned judgments? I repeat, what cognitive skills involve analyzing and evaluating information to form reasoned judgments? 25th. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Discuss sir to please join us on the stage, and Pradeep sir also. Can I have the names please? So 24166 Sir, please come on the stage. Second in the game with the correct answers. Please